I pull into the driveway of my modest Portland home, my body sagging with the weight of a 12-hour shift in the ER. 3 cardiac arrests, 1 terrified 8-year-old with a badly fractured arm, 1 elderly man who swallowed his dentures in a moment of confused panic. The fluorescent lights, the constant alarms, the metallic scent of blood and antiseptic still cling to me. My scrubs are stiff with dried sweat and hospital disinfectant. My hair pulled into a bun that gave up holding shape hours ago. Every muscle aches. All I want is a scalding shower hot enough to erase the day and 8 straight hours of dreamless sleep. The sun is setting in a wash of molten gold, bathing our quiet suburban street in warm amber light. The world looks peaceful, deceptively so. Mrs. Patterson stands across the street, gently watering her prize-winning dahlias, her thin shoulders slightly hunched, but movements steady and precise. She lifts her wrinkled hand in a familiar wave. I lift mine in return, forcing a tired smile I don't feel. As I stare at my house, something feels wrong. Subtle, unsettling. My gaze drifts to the living room windows. The curtains are gone. I blink. Maybe they're in the wash. Mom has always had those bursts of manic cleaning energy, especially whenever Dad dives headfirst into another investment opportunity. She scrubs baseboards at midnight when he's nervous about money. I brush the thought aside. I climb out of my ancient Toyota, grab my worn backpack from the passenger seat, and shuffle up the walkway. The chipped stone gnome Dad picked up at a garage sale 5 summers ago still grins crookedly beside the steps. One eye faded, paint peeling. I used to hate it. Now it feels like the only familiar thing left. I fish my keys from my pocket, unlock the door, and step inside. The echo hits me first. My footsteps bounce unnaturally off walls that shouldn't be this loud. Mom? My voice ricochets through open space. Dad? Silence. The living room is stripped bare. No couch where Dad claimed his Sunday football throne, no coffee table cluttered with Mom's ceramic birds, no lamp in the corner that flickered whenever someone ran the microwave. The staircase wall stands naked without the framed family photos that once climbed toward the second floor. Even the hideous brown recliner Brandon refused to throw away when he moved out is gone. The room feels cavernous, hollow. My heart begins pounding as I move through the house faster, dread pooling in my stomach. The kitchen, empty. Cabinets open, shelves wiped clean. No pots, no mismatched Tupperware lids, no spice rack Mom alphabetized obsessively. Dining room. Nothing but dust outlines where furniture once stood. Upstairs, every bedroom gutted. My childhood room is stripped down to beige walls and faint shadows where posters used to hang. The door frame still shows pencil marks charting my height over the years, but everything else is gone. The bathroom cabinet where I kept emergency tampons and Advil, cleared out. They didn't just leave, they erased. They took every piece of furniture, every dish, every family photo, even the shower curtain. Back in the entryway, something catches the fading light. A single white envelope rests in the center of the hardwood floor, illuminated by a narrow beam of sunset slipping through the bare window. My hands shake as I pick it up. Inside, 1 sheet of paper. Mom's handwriting, slanted, rushed, unmistakable. Thanks for fixing our credit, loser. We're moving to Texas with Brandon. Don't call. My knees buckle. I sink on the cold hardwood floor, the paper trembling between my fingers. The chill seeps near my scrubs. They left. No, worse. They used me. My phone vibrates in my pocket. An automated message. Congratulations on the successful listing of your property at 4217 Oakwood Lane. We anticipate closing within 30 days. The world tilts. They're selling the house. My house. 7 months ago, I slept in my car after Brian ended our 3-year relationship and told me to get out. I had nowhere to go. I parked behind the hospital and cried into a hoodie that still smelled like him. I was hoarding every dollar for a fresh start. A small apartment. Something mine. Then Mom called at 2 a.m, sobbing so hard she could barely speak. We're about to lose the house. Your father made some bad investments. We owe $325,000. The house. My childhood. The door frames marked with pencil lines. The backyard where Dad once taught me to catch a baseball. The kitchen where Mom showed me how to crimp pie crust edges just right. I asked about Grandma's inheritance. The money meant to be split between Brandon and me. Silence. It's gone, she whispered. Brandon's failed sports bar had swallowed it whole. Anger burned in my chest, but I couldn't let them lose everything. I'll help, I said. I worked double shifts at Providence, Portland until my legs throbbed and my back spasmed. I maxed out credit cards, canceled dental insurance, lived on ramen and cafeteria leftovers, drained my savings account down to nearly nothing. Meanwhile, their Facebook page filled with champagne toasts and captions about resilience, family triumph over financial troubles. They even hosted a dinner to thank me. They spent the entire evening praising Brandon's latest business concept, as if the first one hadn't imploded spectacularly. I sat there, smiling tightly, while they celebrated themselves. That was the moment it hit me. I saved them. They were pretending they saved themselves. That night, exhausted but wired, I researched property laws until dawn. I quietly consulted the family lawyer about refinancing while Dad was out. Then I presented paperwork. Refinancing documents, I said, for tax purposes. It was a quitclaim deed. Mom hesitated for a fraction of a second before signing. You'll transfer it back later? Of course, I lied. Now, sitting on the floor of an emptied house, that lie feels like the only smart thing I've ever done. My phone buzzes again. Brandon. Mom says you're being dramatic again. Dramatic. They emptied my home and tried to sell it out from under me. The sun disappears below the horizon, and the house sinks into shadow. But inside me, something sharp and cold takes shape. This house is mine. They have no idea what they've done. The next morning, pale light spills through curtainless windows as I sit cross-legged on the hardwood, papers scattered around me. I barely slept. I tried staying in the house, but the emptiness pressed in too hard. I curled up in the backseat of my Toyota instead, knees cramped, heart racing through worst-case scenarios. Now I sort through the mail they left behind, bills, flyers, and a thick envelope from Bayview Realty. I tear it open. Final contract and closing instructions. The contract was signed 3 weeks ago, while I worked night shifts, while I bought them groceries, while they smiled and told me things were improving. My phone pings. Mom posted a photo. Her, Dad, and Brandon standing in front of a modest ranch house, arms linked, beaming. New beginnings in the Lone Star State, finally free. Texas emojis. The timestamp reads 4 hours ago. In the next photo, Brandon holds up keys like he's won a trophy. Comments flood in. Congratulations, so proud of you. Fresh start. The sale contract lists the numbers clearly. $450,000. $10,000 deposit already secured. Closing next week. Nearly double what I poured into saving this place. You absolute vultures, I whisper. I spread everything out, building a timeline. Dad's gambling escalated 5 years ago, after he lost his accounting job. Small bets became desperate ones. Credit cards ballooned. Loans stacked up. Uncle Greg brushed it off at family gatherings. Just a rough streak. Mom kept redecorating, curating a perfect online life. Brandon remained the golden child, despite burning through Grandma's inheritance. He's just finding himself, she'd say. My phone buzzes again. Mara, Brandon's girlfriend. Is it true you're homeless? Brandon says you're overreacting. Before I can answer, Jennifer from the ER texts. Heard what happened. My spare room's open. Stay as long as you need. Kindness hits harder than cruelty sometimes. A knock sounds at the door. Mrs. Patterson stands there, holding a small box. I saw them loading a truck at midnight, she says softly. They told everyone you approved the sale, that you were joining them later. She hands me the box. Inside are family photos she rescued when she saw Brandon tossing them into a donation pile. The realtor called me this morning, she adds. I told her to talk to you. Right then, my phone rings. Unknown number. The realtor's assistant. There's a discrepancy with the title, she explains. The property was transferred solely to Hallie Cruz 7 months ago. The current sellers aren't on the deed. Relief floods me so fast I nearly cry. The quitclaim deed worked. The house is legally mine. Moments later, a voicemail from Dad. Slurred anger. Don't screw this up. We need that money. You owe us. I delete it. An hour later, the realtor calls back. The sale cannot proceed without your authorization. We've frozen the transaction. That evening, Jennifer shows up with takeout, an air mattress, and a hug that feels like oxygen. As I lie awake in the hollow house, listening to it creak and settle, I realize something. This betrayal should destroy me. Instead, it's solidifying me. They tried to take everything. They failed. A week later, my phone buzzes for the 8th time. Brandon again. Mom's having anxiety attacks because of you. Fix this now. Earlier, it was Dad's blood pressure. Yesterday, it was you're destroying the family. The guilt has turned into static. The doorbell rings. Uncle Greg's bald head appears through the peephole. His Cadillac idles impatiently. "Hallie, honey, let's talk sense." I don't open the door. After 10 minutes of escalating knocks, he leaves his business card wedged in the frame with a note. "Your parents raised you better than this." Later, scrolling through Facebook, my stomach tightens. Mom's newest post has 57 comments. "Praying for parents dealing with ungrateful children. Mental health issues can tear families apart. Please respect our privacy during this difficult time." The comments pour in. Sympathy, support. "Stay strong, Diane," from her book club friends. "What happened with Hallie?" from people who actually know me. My finger hovers over the reply button, but I close the app instead. They've controlled the narrative my entire life. Not anymore. The next morning, the sunlight streams through my bedroom window as I lay out my clothes. Not scrubs today. A crisp white blouse, navy slacks, and the pearl earrings Grandma left me. Professional, authoritative. The mirror reflects someone I barely recognize. Shoulders back, chin lifted, eyes clear and determined. The title office smells like copy paper and coffee. The receptionist's eyes widen slightly when I give my name. "Miss Cruz, we weren't expecting you until 10. I prefer to be early. My voice sounds steadier than I feel. Mr. Abernathy, the title officer, shakes my hand firmly. His office walls are lined with family photos and fishing trophies. "I've reviewed your documentation," he says, gesturing to the folder on his desk. "The quitclaim deed is in order. Your payment records are remarkably well organized." "I've learned to keep receipts," I say, the corner of my mouth lifting slightly. He nods, studying me. "I've never seen someone your age so prepared. Most people twice your age don't understand these transactions. Necessity is an excellent teacher." His printer whirs, producing the document I've been fighting for. "This confirms it, Miss Cruz. You are now the legal homeowner of record. The attempted sale has been voided." My fingertips tingle as I touch the paper. "Mine. Truly mine." Mr. Abernathy clears his throat. "Your parents requested a conference call. They're quite insistent." I bet they are. The speakerphone crackles. Dad's voice fills the room, already mid-sentence. "Completely unreasonable. We raised her, put a roof over her head for years." "Mr. Cruz," Mr. Abernathy interrupts. "I have your daughter here with me. We're on speaker." A moment of startled silence. Then Mom's voice, trembling with practiced vulnerability. "Hallie, sweetheart, how could you do this to us, after everything we've sacrificed?" "Mrs. Cruz," Mr. Abernathy interjects. "The documentation is quite clear. Your daughter paid $325,000 to prevent foreclosure on the property. You and your husband signed a quitclaim deed transferring ownership. She tricked us." Dad's voice rises. "She said it was refinancing paperwork. The deed is clearly titled, sir. It bears your notarized signatures." "This is absurd. We'll sue." "On what grounds, Dad?" My voice surprises even me. Calm, almost gentle. "The house is mine. The sale is void. And you left me with nothing but walls." Mom begins to cry. The familiar soundtrack of my childhood whenever she didn't get her way. But Mr. Abernathy simply slides a box of tissues toward me, unmoved by the sounds coming through the speaker. "This conversation is over," I say, pressing the end call button. Walking through the hospital corridor that evening, Jennifer falls into step beside me. "The Calvary's arriving at 6, she says. "Mike from radiology has a truck. Emma's bringing her old couch. I've got kitchen supplies." My throat tightens. "You don't have to. Try stopping us," she says, bumping my shoulder with hers. By sunset, my living room has furniture. Not matching pieces from a showroom, but a hodgepodge of donations. A forest green couch, a scratched coffee table, mismatched dining chairs. More than I had yesterday. Mrs. Patterson appears at my door with a cardboard box. "I borrowed these for safekeeping," she explains, revealing family photos. When I saw them loading everything up, I knew something wasn't right. Later, my phone rings with an unfamiliar number. Mara's voice comes through, hushed and urgent. "I left Brandon," she says without preamble. "They planned this for months, Hallie. Brandon showed me text messages from last winter. I can't stay with him knowing what they did to you." I sink onto my new old couch. "Are you okay?" "Shouldn't I be asking you that?" She laughs, a hollow sound. "I'm staying with my sister. Listen, I saved some of those texts. I'll forward them to you. Dr. Winters catches me between patients the next day. I've approved your request for additional shifts," he says. "The holiday pay should help rebuild your nest egg." "Thank you," I manage, blinking back unexpected tears. After work, I drive to the hardware store and buy new locks. The metallic snick of the deadbolt sliding into place sounds like victory. The security system installation takes 3 hours. Cameras covering every entrance, motion sensors, a panel by my bedroom door. In Brandon's old room, I roll seafoam green paint over the basketball posters he never bothered to take down. The color reminds me of the Oregon coast, where I'd go alone to think during nursing school. With each stroke, I reclaim another inch of space. The last task is the hardest. My parents' wedding portrait has hung above the fireplace my entire life. I carefully remove it, wrapping the frame in an old t-shirt before placing it in the attic. In its place, I hang a photograph of the Portland skyline at dawn, the view I see driving home after night shifts. The beginning of something new. Standing back, I survey my home. Not empty anymore. Not stolen. Mine. My phone buzzes with another text from Brandon. I delete it without reading, and turn off the lights, climbing the stairs to my bedroom. For the first time in weeks, I'll sleep without dreams of empty rooms and stolen futures. My phone buzzes at 3 a.m. I ignore it, but seconds later it buzzes again and again. The notifications pile up like autumn leaves. Texts, voicemails, Facebook alerts. I squint at the screen. My bedroom's still dark, save for the harsh blue glow. Mom's name dominates my notifications. I sit up, back against the headboard, and tap the most recent message. The extended stay America costs $89 a night. We can't afford this much longer. Your father is beside himself. I scroll through earlier messages. Complaints about Texas heat, the motel's lumpy mattresses, the suspicious characters hanging around the parking lot. Not one word about leaving me with nothing but walls. The irony almost makes me laugh. Almost. Their dream of a Texas mansion funded by my empty house has crashed into reality. The $450,000 they expected will never arrive, and their hastily packed bags now sit in a budget motel room with cigarette burns in the carpet. My laptop sits on my nightstand. I open Facebook. Mom has just posted a sunset photo, taking time to explore Texas before buying our dream home. Blessed family, new beginnings. The comments overflow with cheerful encouragement from distant relatives and church friends who have no idea what really happened. 12 people have already liked it. Brandon's profile tells a different story. His status updates have shifted from excited plans to thinly veiled complaints. Job market tougher than expected. Anyone know someone hiring in San Antonio? I close the laptop without responding to any messages. Let them stew in the consequences they created. Morning light filters through my new curtains as I prepare for my shift. I've been carefully silent online since they left, watching their narrative unravel without my interference. Today feels different. Today I'm ready. I prop my phone against the kitchen counter and take a selfie in my scrubs, standing proudly in front of the freshly painted living room wall. The caption comes easily. Some things earned can never be taken away. Grateful for this home and the community that supported me through unexpected challenges. Within minutes, comments appear from neighbors, coworkers, old classmates. They've heard rumors. They choose sides without me saying a word. So proud of you, Hallie. Your parents were always sketchy about money. Call if you need anything, honey. I send one email before leaving for work. To Dad. Subject, mail forwarding. I've decided to keep the house. Please forward your new address for any remaining mail. Hallie. Short, simple, final. When I return from my shift 8 hours later, my phone holds a text from Mara, Brandon's girlfriend. Brandon got fired yesterday. They found out he lied about his experience. I type back. Good thing that you moved with your sister, but you could always come back to Portland. She doesn't respond, but I know I've planted a seed. Uncle Greg calls that evening. His voice carries the weight of family obligation, strained by disappointment. They're asking to stay in my basement, he says. I can't turn family away. But Hallie, what they did to you. Do what you need to do, Uncle Greg. Your father says there's still a chance to sell the house and split the money. Says everybody wins that way. My laugh sounds hollow even to my ears. That's what I figured. His sigh travels across state lines. Your mom's been calling everyone from the old neighborhood. People are starting to ask questions. Their perfect family image is crumbling brick by brick. In Portland, in Texas, everywhere. Later that night, Mom's tearful voicemail fills my kitchen as I chop vegetables for dinner. Baby, please, we made a terrible mistake. We just need to come home. Your father's not sleeping. Brandon blames us for everything. Please call back. I delete it and keep chopping. Dad's email arrives next. We could split the proceeds 50/50 if you sell now. The market's hot. Be reasonable, Hallie. Brandon's text is less diplomatic. You've destroyed this family. I stand at my kitchen window, watching stars appear above my backyard. The yard where Dad taught me to throw a baseball. The yard where Mom planted tulips every spring. The yard I mowed every Saturday to earn my allowance. My fingers tap out one response to Brandon. The day I needed a roof, you left me homeless. Now figure it out like I had to. Block, delete, breathe. 3 days later, my lawyer calls. Good news. Their legal challenge to the quitclaim deed has been dismissed. The judge didn't even need to hear arguments. The bank confirms what I already know. The mortgage is solely in my name. The mountain of credit card debt I took on to save this house still looms, but each paycheck chips away at it. Each extra shift brings me closer to freedom. That night, I hang a new mirror in the entryway, the spot where their wedding portrait once dominated the wall. My reflection shows someone I'm still getting to know, a woman who stopped setting herself on fire to keep others warm. The house feels different now, smaller, without their oversized expectations, larger with possibilities that belong only to me. My financial sacrifice was enormous, but it saved me from a lifetime of exploitation. Some lessons cost everything, but teach you what you're truly worth. And in my case, that's exactly the price of this house. A month later, the rain pounds against my windows like tiny fists demanding entry. October in Portland brings storms that wash away summer's lingering warmth and expose the bare bones of reality. I'm curled on my new couch, a modest second-hand find that Jennifer helped me haul up the front steps last weekend, reviewing patient charts when headlights sweep across my living room wall. A car door slams. Then another. A third. My stomach tightens. I know those footsteps on the walkway before the doorbell rings. The security camera app on my phone confirms what my body already sensed. My parents and Brandon huddled beneath a single umbrella on my porch, their faces drawn and desperate. I consider not answering. Let them stand in the rain like I stood in an empty house 3 months ago. But that's not who I am. Not anymore. When I open the door, Mom steps forward first, her mascara tracking dark rivers down her cheeks. Hallie, thank God, we have nowhere else to go. Dad looks smaller somehow, his shoulders hunched against the driving rain. The Texas situation, it didn't work out. Brandon pushes past them both, water dripping from his leather jacket onto my newly refinished oddwood floors. You need to fix what you broke, he snaps. They had to sell their car just to get back here. I say nothing. Simply step aside to let them into the entryway. The home they stripped bare now contains just enough furniture to remind them of what's missing. My furniture, my home. After everything we've done for you. Mom whispers, her voice cracking with practiced precision. I changed your diapers. I nursed you through chickenpox. I helped you apply to nursing school. I've rehearsed this moment in therapy, in the shower, while staring at my ceilings at 3 a.m. Yet now that it's here, a strange calm settles over me. I don't feel rage anymore, just clarity. Would you like to sit down? I ask, gesturing to the living room. They exchange confused glances before following me. Dad's eyes flick to the mantel, where their wedding portrait once hung. In its place is a framed copy of my nursing license. When I was 16, I begin, perching on the edge of my armchair. I crashed Dad's car, remember? You grounded me for 3 months and made me work at Uncle Greg's warehouse to pay for repairs. Dad frowns. What does that have to? You taught me about consequences, I continue. About responsibility. About paying my debts. I reach for the folder on my coffee table. So I've kept track of mine, and yours. I open the folder and remove a stack of bank statements, neatly highlighted in yellow. $78,000. That's what I paid toward the mortgage and property taxes over 7 months. I place them on the table. Plus another $23,000 in credit card debt I took on to keep this roof over your heads. Mom's hand flutters to her throat. Hallie, we never asked. Next, I pull out my phone and open Facebook. While I was eating ramen 5 nights a week, you posted these. I scroll through their smiling Texas photos. The steakhouse dinners, the shopping trips, the vineyard tour. Interesting budget choices for a family in financial crisis. Brandon shifts uncomfortably. Social media isn't real life. No? I extract the handwritten note from a protective sleeve, now professionally framed. Is this real enough? Thanks for fixing our credit, loser. We're moving to Texas with Brandon. Don't call. My voice doesn't waver. Mom's handwriting, Dad's sentiment. Your collective goodbye gift. The silence thickens until Dad clears his throat. We made a mistake. We're sorry. Sorry you got caught. I correct him. Sorry your plan failed. I place the final document on the table. A notarized statement from Mara. Brandon's ex-girlfriend had quite a story to tell. How you planned this for months. How you discussed selling my house while I worked double shifts to save it. Dad's facade cracks. His eyes dart to the exit like a cornered animal's. You had no right to turn Mara against us. I didn't turn anyone against you. You did that yourselves. Mom's performance tears give way to something raw, uglier. How could you do this to your own mother? Her voice rises. Where are we supposed to go? The same place I was supposed to go when you emptied my home and tried to sell it from under me. The words come easily now. You never saw me as family, just as a resource to use, a problem to solve your problems. Brandon lunges forward, finger pointing at my face. You think you're so perfect? You stole our house. Your house? I stand, matching his height. The house I saved with my money? The house you abandoned? That house? His mouth opens, closes, opens again. No sound emerges. Through my front windows, I notice Mrs. Patterson peeking out from behind her curtains. 2 doors down, the Collins family has paused their evening dog walk to watch the drama unfold. My family's shame is now as public as their betrayal. You can stay at the Motel 6 on Powell, I say quietly. I've arranged for 3 nights, paid in advance. After that, you're on your own. 3 nights? Mom's voice cracks. What are we supposed to do after that? I walk to the door and open it. The rain has slowed to a gentle patter. Figure it out, like I had to. One by one, they file past me. Dad pauses at the threshold, his familiar cologne mixing with the petrichor. We're still your parents, Hallie. Biology doesn't make a family, I reply. Actions do. I close the door firmly behind them and engage the security system. The electronic beep echoes through my reclaimed space. Through the window, I watch them retreat down the walkway, past the stone gnome with his chip smile. I didn't destroy them, I whisper to the empty room. They destroyed themselves. I just stopped saving them. The weight I've carried for so long slides from my shoulders like water. I turn back toward my home, modest, incomplete, but unmistakably mine. Outside, the storm clouds break, revealing a single star in the twilight sky. The first clear thing I've seen in months. The morning sun warms my face as I kneel in the freshly turned soil. 1 year later, and my hands still remember the emptiness of this house. Now they press seedlings into the earth where Dad's neglected grill once collected rust. Marigolds, zinnias, and cosmos. Bright, resilient flowers that return season after season. Those are coming along nicely, Mrs. Patterson calls from across the fence. No longer just a neighbor who waters dahlias, but a friend who brings homemade bread on Sundays and listens to my stories without judgment. You should see inside, I answer, brushing dirt from my knees. The art studio is finally finished. What was once Dad's dusty office, where he plotted financial schemes that never materialized, now brims with natural light. Clay spatter tables hold half-finished mugs and bowls. My fingers find peace in shaping something from nothing. The spare bedroom upstairs stands ready for Lucia, the nursing student I'm mentoring. Her situation mirrors mine years ago, talented but drowning in financial obligations. The difference? She'll have someone in her corner this time. Dr. Winters says mentoring is part of my healing. In therapy, I've learned to name what happened: financial abuse. The words still stick in my throat sometimes, but each week they come easier. Family isn't always who raised you, she reminded me last session. Sometimes it's who helps you raise yourself. The support group I lead at Providence Portland nods in recognition when I share this. 8 other survivors, all learning to disentangle love from exploitation. When a new member whispers, but they're family, I no longer flinch. Mara texts occasionally about Brandon. Entry-level jobs, shared apartments with roommates. My parents separated 6 months ago. Mom in Uncle Greg's basement, Dad in a studio apartment. The Texas stream dissolved like sugar in rain. I feel nothing when I read these updates. Not satisfaction, not anger, just peaceful distance. Like watching waves from a shore I no longer need to swim toward. The doorbell chimes. Jennifer arrives first for the housewarming, arms loaded with sparkling cider and paper plates. This place looks amazing, she says, taking in the walls now covered with local artwork, the refinished hardwood floors, the bookshelves filled with nursing journals and pottery books. Guests filter in throughout the afternoon, my chosen family. Mrs. Patterson brings her famous blueberry pie. Coworkers from the ER, friends from pottery class. The house fills with laughter where once my footsteps echoed against bare walls. Jennifer raises her glass as sunset paints the dining room gold. To Hallie, who taught us all what strength really looks like. Later, when everyone is gone, I sit with the photo album I finally opened. Pictures of my childhood home, now arranged on my terms. Mom and Dad smile from behind glass, frozen in a time before betrayal unraveled us. Brandon's graduation photo. All displayed not as wounds, but as chapters in a longer story. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is stop rescuing those who repeatedly harm you. The hardest boundaries protect the softest hearts. On the front porch swing, I watch fireflies blink in the gathering dusk. The weight of house keys in my palm feels right. Earned. The garden I've planted will bloom next spring, and the spring after that. Roots grow deeper than anyone sees. This is my home, reclaimed, renewed, and finally at peace.